As we all know, reliable communications is an important part of bush travels. Recently I installed this brand new UH9080 UHF CB mobile 80 channel 5-watt radio in this Toyota Land Cruiser trip carrier, and many of us know that space is usually an issue in modern vehicles where there's a lot of plastic and modern gadgets in the dashboard. With this unit right here, we have all the radio's functions, the controls in the microphone head, so that you can conveniently access them in one hand as opposed to reaching on the dashboard or under the dash or wherever you may mount a usual mobile radio, the standard box radio where you have the controls inside the unit itself. With this one you can actually hide the brains of the unit under a seat, the side of a seat, or under the dash in an obscure spot. In this vehicle we have it installed under the ashtray, if you can see it there, just because we have the space, and you can see it doesn't get in the way of the tray there, so it's nice and tucked away. Then we have the microphone bracket mounted conveniently next to the steering wheel. So this radio has 5 watts of power, which is the full legal limit here in Australia for the UHF citizens ban, and the UHF works on a line of sight basis, and its signal is greatly affected by geography and topography. So for example, out on a flat road in the outback, you'd easily get say 50 to 100 k's out of it, but in the suburbs this range could be cut down as much as 75%, depending on the various said geographical and topographical conditions. So we're going to now go through a number of the key features of the Uniden UH9080. This is the mobile 80 channel 5-watt radio. First of all, if we can turn that on, the top left button.
There we go.
So probably the second key selling feature next to the compactness is the replay feature, and that basically allows you to replay the last transmission of say if you're in a convoy and somebody says something in the second vehicle and you miss it because of the noisy conditions on the track or whatever. Instead of having to ask the other person what they said, you can simply hit the replay button, which we'll demonstrate in a bit very shortly, and you can hear the last message played back to you as if in real time. So we're going to do that right now. Let me take this and we'll just do a quick test. So we are currently using channel 20, but of course you know this will work on any channel if you're choosing. So we have the replay button right here.
Hey mate, can you hear me? I just wanted to let you know that there's a big buffalo crossing the road in about 2 kilometres.
Now let's just pretend I missed that, you know, so we'll go ahead and hit the replay button.
Hey mate, can you hear me? I just wanted to let you know that there's a big buffalo crossing the road in about 2 kilometres.
How good is that? So you can basically, as we've just demonstrated, hear the last message that you may have missed. And that's a very important feature, especially like I said, when you're out on the tracks and it's noisy, the vehicle engine, other conditions, music playing, whatnot. So we'll go to the next feature, which is Master Scan. Master Scan is accessible in the scan menu. You've got, you've got Master Scan here. Master Scan is a unique feature that basically allows all radios in a group to hop to a clear channel when your usual group channel is in use. So say if you'd usually use, we're on channel 20 right now, but we do have a CDCS code here. But say if we didn't have a CDCS code, like we'll use channel 21 for an example, and say somebody's using it right now. We have all radios in our group, our fleet of vehicles in our full driving convoy all set to channel 21. Then we'd say we have some full driving club using channel 21, and we want to use this as well. So what will happen is if we'd like to talk on this one, it will assign us the next available channel other than the one we're currently set on.
So basically you can put several channels in the memory at once, and we would actually suggest, having tested this, that you probably only need 3 channels in your group, because the more channels you have, the slower it is to respond. So that is something to keep in mind when you're using the master scan feature. But it's a great feature because, especially when you're out on the highway, the channels can be a little bit congested, and so to be able to jump around to the next clear channel and everyone in the group automatically having that available, it's a great little feature, and it's unique to the Uniden radios.
Precisely. So we'll go to the next feature, which is a scanner. We have a built-in scanner here. In states, you can use this in states where emergency services don't have encrypted radios, and you can also monitor any other analog transmissions between the 400 and 512 megahertz range, and that's accessible in the I believe the top right key there, I believe it is. Yeah, it's police. It says there, DCS, CDCSS. I think you hold it in. There we go. We're now on police. But being in South Australia, we have encrypted SA police communications, so obviously that's got to be impossible to listen to. But I believe in other states this may work. Possibly some other local industrial places would be able. You just heard that there. That one, that noise you just heard was from an encrypted transmission. So as you can hear, that's not going to work so well. But yeah, it should work in other places where they do have analog transmissions systems still. Now, the next amazing feature of the UH9080 is the scramble feature, and that is accessible by going into the menu right here, and as you can see, quite a number of different menu options. Again, master scan, you can change the call tone, got a Roger beep there, key beep, alpha tagging, I think that is, volume synchronization, screen color, light, contrast, record, and then there we go, we have the scramble here, and you can change, there's 2 scramble options here. So basically this feature allows you to communicate with others with compatible UHF CB radios. Like for example, right here we have another frontline flagship Uniden model. This is a handheld UH9080S 5 watt, as you can see, handheld UHF radio, waterproof, dustproof, splashproof, and also reasonably robust.
Shall we throw it out the window and try it?
And it's quite sturdy, actually.
Actually, our friend did a test with the 850, and he was throwing it against a cliff. Well, this is even more robust than the 850. This is this 950, and it would easily survive a lot of rough handling. But the scramble feature is really good because people who don't have your radio can't understand what you're saying. So we could actually demonstrate what it would sound like with the scramble on if you didn't have a compatible radio, and we can show you that if you do have a compatible radio, it's nice and clear. Shall we do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. I'll just jump out here.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the menu. We are going to go into our scramble settings, and we will set it to scramble code 1 for the sake of testing. There we go, we're on scramble 1. Now we'll just go and try and get our scanner mode and fire mode. Go on channel 21. Right, we'll just use channel 21. We have our scramble set on here. So like I said before, this is basically a form of encryption, and we can use this with compatible...
Okay, I'm now speaking on channel 21, and hopefully this is sounding a bit strange to you.
Roger that, received your transmission on channel 21.
Let me see if I can get the same scramble as you so you can understand me. Can you understand me now?
That's much better. So you get the idea there. That's basically... move off that. Basically, yeah, you get the idea. That's basically how scramble works there. So that's the scramble feature. Now we'll move on to cell call. Cell call right here, accessible by the key down there, button down there. So if you have multiple people in a group, you can assign individual users an ID and selectively call that individual without the whole group being interrupted. And that's really handy, especially if you're out in a convoy, you know, full driving club, caravanning, out on the tracks, whatever. So that's something really handy. You can call individual vehicles, you know, assign them an ID. That's accessible there again. And like we showed you before, DCS and CDCSS codes, which allow you to communicate with one other person or a group of people in a or a group of people, yeah, without being interrupted by others not using the code. So for example, we are on channel 20, and as you can see, we're using CDCSS code 07, and all radios in the group we're currently set them to CDCSS 07 as well, and that way we shouldn't be interrupted. Now the sound quality of the speaker built into the body is, as well as the speaker built into the handheld microphone right here. Now the microphone on the main unit is at the top of the unit, so it's not really accessible. You can't really see it there because of the way we've mounted it, but nevertheless it is quite clear, the audio, nice and clear, crystal clear. It's quite impressive, especially for, you know, such an affordable price, and being a high-end unit, you expect this type of quality. Now if you are unsatisfied with the sound quality, you can adjust the equalization of the sound to boost the bass, mid-range, or high frequencies for easier comprehension. Now this model has dual battery support. You can either connect it to your 12-volt car battery, as we've done here with the supplied power leads there, inline fuse built in, and or you can attach it to a 12-volt truck battery without any problems. So taking all these features into consideration, we'd give this high quality product from Uniden a full 5 out of 5 stars for performance, ease of use, the sound quality, durability, flexibility, security, and other useful features. So this has been the Uniden UH9080 UHF CB mobile 80 channel 5 watt UHF radio. Dual speakers, speaker, microphone and bass. As you can see, it comes with UHF and scanning 1, replay function, 12 and 24 volt as shown on the box, and smart microphone technology. Again, another high quality product from Uniden, and it comes with a 5-year warranty, and it is built rugged for Australian and New Zealand conditions, like you would expect from Uniden. Thank you for watching this review. This has been Caleb and Joseph for Ultimate Survival Gear, signing off.